What's good, beautiful people? This is Queen Common Sense coming back to you from the Chi-Town holding it down. My computer is hating on me, y'all, so please forgive me, please forgive me, please forgive me. I hope everybody's doing well today. It is tomorrow now. It is Thursday, Eastern Standard Time, 12:55 in the AM. We're inching up on the damn witching hour. And I had a kind of mixed emotions kind of day today. I've been studying a lot on this here obnoxiousness we see amongst the women folk on these here, excuse me, reality show streets, yo. Been doing some studying. A lot of what I have seen on Love and Marriage Huntsville, The Housewives, all of them resonates a lot with me with the toxicity, and it's kind of shameful that I admit it because I pick up on it so quick. I'm not proud of the fact that I resonate with that energy because it is a very low frequency, disgusting, deplorable energy to have to navigate. Um, but the reason why I share the fact that I can resonate with it so well is because I have a mother and a sister a lot like Destiny, Cap and Kimmy, and Tinkerbell Tisha. Now, I came across such a lovely sister. This queen is a psychotherapist, and she is a melanated goddess. She has all the business, okay? She has all the information and the deeds, okay? We have just been enlightened and graced with my discovery of her channel. Um, I was locked in, honey, because we were talking, I believe it was on Pinky the Housewife. Shout out to her, Pinky the Housewife, or it could have been on Black Titanic's panel. Shout out to Black Titanic. Um, we were trying to figure out why, the mothers, Marlene, Wasteland Wander, and the such are so freaking obnoxious. Hmm? And I've scratched the surface on why we've kicked it around. We clearly see that there is you know, an opportunity that was missed to get a good, solid, developmental MDE done on these mothers now. And I'm not here to bash anybody's mom. I'm not here to put anybody's mom in the hot seat or anything. We're strictly talking about the behavior. That's it. I'm just talking about the behavior, how it manifested, and how it trickled down and bled all over these women from their mother because I walk in those shoes. I'm a survivor of a very toxic mother. And, she's still alive, and so is my dad. And we have a non existent relationship. And my mother is the narcissist who is a triangulator. Most narcissists are, if they have the opportunity and the targets to do so. If they have all the ingredients, they're going to triangulate the hell out of you. Okay, so I'm here to share this beautiful gem of Miss Doctor Tamara Hill. Okay, all right. This queen is beyond brilliant, just like Mel, just like Melody. Brilliant, amazing, explosive, sharper than the edge of a razor, finer than frog's hair sharp. Okay, we are going to dive in to the toxic grip of sibling and parent jealousy. This is a trap that I believe, now that I have my confirmation from the expert, because she's my new go-to, honey. Okay, no shade, no heat, no judgment to my other go-tos now. We got narcissists uh exposed, we got survive and thrive, but this is of the sun goddesses, the people of the sun. She is just, and she's gorgeous. Okay, just like our Melody, man. Gorgeous, intelligent, okay, witty, all of that. Just a ball of loveliness. You know what I'm saying? So let's peep this out together. We're gonna go through a little bit of this because I believe we done inched up on something there, y'all. You tell me what you think. Once we get through to the meat of it, you'll see where I'm going with this because, like we always say, the apple does not fall far from the tree. Chip off the old block. Now, that's true with toxicity. Dysfunctional behavior, our folk are some of the most pristine conductors of ignorance, not ignorance, ignorance known to man. Whenever we are in any type of back and forth or, discourse, we gonna ugly it up something special. Now let's go. Let's jump in. We're gonna start at the 5:09 mark. Okay. And this one I'm gonna try to link it in the comments because I really want y'all to peep this out. Because somewhere in here, somebody can relate and resonate with this here. Okay. Let's go.
Family of a parent who's jealous and of a sibling who's jealous. So here's the different triangles. So instead of, I wish I had a different piece of paper. I'm going to learn one day to bring more than one piece of paper, to bring my charger and everything else that I need. Okay, bear with me. Okay, I'm gonna scratch this out and try to make it understandable. So here's the triangle. Now we're not talking about the drama triangle with the victim, the persecutor, and the rescuer. Now we're gonna talk about the jealous triangle between the parent, the sibling, and the other sibling. So this is how.
Okay. In this case, if we talk about Wasteland Wander, okay, because we know Tinkerbell Tisha was the only, she was kind of treated like an only child. Okay. And we're looking at Wander, Tisha, and Kiki now in the dynamic of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Peep this out, y'all. Check it out. This is how I feel. Really touches on something here where Wanda got this toxicity to pass it down to her daughter, to where her daughter feels like she has to overcompensate the fugaziness to cover up the ratchetry. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna be quiet.
how this looks. Okay. I'm going to write this out for you. Okay. So this is actually a real concept. Um, and I think a lot of people could relate to this. Oh, Lord, I'm going to highlight this for you. Okay. So in this triangle, it's called the jealous triangle. Okay. Here it is. So this is how this looks. So instead of here,
Okay, hold on, folks. We're just gonna do a peeky boot because I don't want to overstep and stuff like that. Give me a second though. We listen. Watch. Y'all gonna like this here. Y'all gonna like this here. Okay. Let me get our sound set up all nice and pretty. Okay. Bingo. How's that? Let's just do a little portion because we don't want to, But there she is. That's her name. You watch. Listen, y'all. Check it. Peep it.
here, I'm going to make this better. There we go. Okay. Instead of the victim, the persecutor, and the rescuer, now we're looking at the jealous, the beloved, and the rival.
Pay attention to what she's saying. The rival. Okay. We're gonna let this commercial rock out. Okay. Here we go.
See that, guys? So that is the triangle within a family dynamic that includes parental jealousy and sibling jealousy. And this is a real psychological concept.
Now think about Kimmy was raised by a single mother as well. Okay. Kimmy has sisters. Uh-huh. Kimmy would be our beloved one, right? And Kimmy's sister would be the rival. This is why I believe that these women are so freaking obnoxious and tone deaf when it comes to appropriate and inappropriate behavior, out of line, what you accept, f- the type of treatment you accept from your supposed husband. Okay, the first floor standard of boundaries for their husbands are what we see before us on the show. Okay, this is why. Okay, let's go.
The beloved, the jealous, and the rival. And I'm going to post some research in the description box for you so you can pull up the article and learn a little bit more about this triangle. But when there's a jealous individual, let's say that jealous individual is the parent, okay? That
Now, peep this. Peep this. In this dynamic, the triangle dynamic she's describing right here. Let's bring it on even home, even a little closer. Melody is the beloved, Tisha is the rival, and Kimmy is the rescuer. Okay, let's peep. Follow me, y'all. Hold my hand. Let's get your eagle feather. Light that sage. Open that window. Put on your meditation frequencies and come on with me.
that jealous individual kind of triggers a process that causes chaos. And it's typically between two siblings. So the parent is the jealous, the beloved is the chosen child of that dynamic, the one who the parent really likes, and the rival is the one, the child who is disliked. But the parent sits at the top as the jealous parent. And sadly, this here's the name of the triangle. It's called the interpersonal jealousy system.
You heard that right. Isn't she gorgeous? Isn't our queen psychotherapist gorgeous, intelligent? Listen, peep this.
Sadly, the interpersonal jealousy system is what keeps jealousy within the family dynamic between two siblings and the parent. And the rival, the child who is not the beloved or the liked or the respected or the cared about child, the adult child, whatever, the rival often looks at the jealous parent and the jealous sibling and says, how am I going to succeed with you two? Right?
Okay, that would be me as well between my mama and my sister. Are y'all feeling me now? I'm the rival. My older sister is the jealous, and the parent is the rescuer slash jealous as well. Y'all, come on now. Get your little pencil out. Let's go.
How am I going to go forward in my life in a healthy way if I've got mom and dad against me, a parent who's jealous, and then I have a sibling who's jealous and beloved, and I'm the rival? How do I survive that? So it's called the interpersonal jealousy system. Okay, guys? All right, let me go to the chat box. I see you guys commenting already. Let me go back and welcome you. And we're going to get further into this because I want to give you what research says are some major signs of parental jealousy. And I also want to give you some major signs of sibling jealousy. And to kind of wrap all this up and put a bow on top, I'm going to give you some information on what happens to you in this kind of a dynamic if this is you. Let me start with Live Alive. Hello and welcome to the live chat. Glad to have you tonight. Glad to see you. Hello, Jason Z. Hello and welcome.
This is going to be really good. We're not going to do much because it is a full hour and some change, but I just wanted to touch on a couple of points with her illustration because it is spot on in my opinion, and I would love to know what the family think. Let's peep this out.
Elizabeth, yeah, glad to have you. It is a painful and yet a very interesting topic as well. It is a painful topic. I will self disclose and say that um, I absolutely love my late grandma. She passed away in 2020, and she was the meat of our entire family system. When I tell you that this woman has helped every last one of us in this family,
Rest in power to my grandma Elma. Let's go, y'all.
and I'm talking about 15 of us and more. That was my grandma. However, before my grandma became a grandma, so when my grandmother was a mom over my mom was an adolescent, her brother, before my grandma became a grandma, which I think changed her personality a little bit into a nicer person. My mom always felt that my grandma was jealous of her, and she couldn't understand why her mom just could not become excited about the things that she wanted to do. When my mom became a nurse, she told me a story where she became a nurse. She put on her nursing uniform for the first time. Everybody around my mom was supposedly congratulating her, but my grandmother did not congratulate my mom.
Have you noticed that Wasteland Wandered never promotes or posts anything about her daughter's products, about her expo? Okay. I don't see any happy birthday to my daughters on her social media feed. Anybody else notice that? Hmm? When Mel's mom posts, she posts everything, her grandbabies, the birthdays, the Christmas, the St. Patrick's Day. I mean, Tooth Fairy came, Easter egg hunts, brunch, Mother's Day brunch. You name it. If Miss Van was there, it was some pictures took, and they gonna go up on their on social media. Okay, and that's that. Same thing with Jezebel Martell, Marlene, Marble Mouth Marlene. Now she'll drink the wine. Okay, she won't pay for it though. You see where I'm going with this? So let's go, y'all. Come on now.
She said my grandmother, uh, took a swig of alcohol and went and sat down somewhere and totally disengaged from my mom. And so my mom remembers that moment very clearly. And if you look at my mom as she's telling the story, you can see it's painful. No child, whether you're a child, an adolescent, or an adult, wants to believe that their parent is jealous of them. I also have clients that I've treated in the past where they've come to session and they've broken down.
This is a psychotherapist, everybody. Okay. Just had to say that one more time. This is a melanated queen breaking it on down about the triangulation of jealousy. Leviathan. Let's go.
Down in tears and they say, Tamara, I feel like my parents against me. I've had male clients that feel like their dads are against them. I've had female clients that feel like their moms are against them. And it's one of the most painful things to listen to and to deal with. So Elizabeth, you are right. It is very painful, but yet a very needed and interesting topic indeed. Kyra knows 144. Hello and welcome to the live.
And for the people in the nosebleed seats, okay, who don't quite catch it yet. When you are an empath, that pretty much tells you you can survive almost anything. Okay. Um, those of us who catch it and internalize the part of survival, um, it is very difficult. It's very embarrassing. It's very humiliating to be related to people like this. I'm gonna just keep it one buck with you. Okay, whatever Tisha, Tinkerbell, delusional, delulu, foo foo, no matter how she behaves and how she tries to sweep stuff under the rug, she's embarrassed. Okay, if she doesn't say it, I will say it for her. Martell, embarrassed. Hmm? We know, Destiny's story with her mother. Okay. And come on now, let's keep it real because we can't heal what we refuse to acknowledge. And that is the problem in the Black community. We think that psychotherapy, psychiatry, psychology, whatever, that is a mental health maintenance tool is taboo. It's a joke. But we're watching Jezebel Martell allow Leviathan to possess him completely. There's nothing left of his soul. Let's go now. Come, let's go.
Chuck, glad to have you tonight. Yeah, glad to have you. Louis S., glad to have you here. Welcome to the chat. Get noticed with Nikki. Hello and welcome. Glad to have you in tonight's live chat. Yeah, I hope you're having a great day as well. Tammy, I think it's Nicely or is it Nicely? Hello and welcome. Glad to have you tonight. T Mac, hello. Glad to have you as well. I also see Judith Barrett says jealousy is a big one. Yes, it is. Welcome. Glad to see you back in a live chat tonight. All right, just scrolling for more of you. Thank you so much for that. Get noticed with Nikki. Why can't I? Here we go. Get
Shout out to Dr. Uh, Tamara Hill. Shout out to you, Queen. This, I can't tell you how proud I am to have seen this. You know, I'm nosy and I like learning. I like digging into things. I want to find out the when, where, what, why, how come, what you think. Let me know. I'm all up in it, right? Stimulating conversations that are not EIEIO. Okay. We're getting down into the crux of it now. Let's peep the triangulation. dynamic of the jealous parent and rival sibling, cousin, however you want to put it. Because sometimes cousins raise like siblings.
Notice with Nikki. Thank you for that one. Thank you. Ken One Warfield. Hopefully, I said that correctly. Welcome to the live chat. Woo, my lights are flickering for some reason. I don't know why. It's not raining. So if we get cut off, I'll sign back on. Glad to have you in tonight's live chat, Ken One.
That's the quickening, as the old people used to say, when your lights flicker, because you're about to get down into some metaphysical surgery. You start telling the truth a little bit too tough. Things start gelling, and more people are starting to get tuned in and woke. Yeah, that's a power surge. It might bust a light bulb out. I've seen that happen. I'll tell that story a little later though. Let's go.
On Dina Da Vinci. Hopefully, I said that correctly. Welcome. Glad to have you tonight. Said this is coming at the right time. Wow. That's sad, but glad that there's a resource here available for you. B, hello and welcome. Glad to have you in tonight's live chat. Says, love the new. It's called projection. It's called projection. You the language. Kyra knows 144 says,
Skip a
I'm
little
a
bit.
lifelong sufferer of this very poison. That's an excellent way to describe it because jealousy and envy, and I'm going to give you a clinical definition of jealousy in a minute here. Jealousy and envy seeps into that individual's world. And whether they realize it or not, the jealousy and the envy that they are housing on the inside of them then becomes uh it becomes known to everybody else when it grows, and because it's like a poison, sometimes it gets spread.
It spreads. Look at how fanned out Black Mama Marceau is over Melody. There is nothing you can do to tell me and convince me that this sleazy, slimy, fork-tongued devil has not seen that RP video. Okay? And for reckless Reese Luther King Scott to be complicit and not open his pink lips to correct his younger brother. Listen, you know good and well you are influencing this man to do the wrong thing because you are a hater. You want what he has. Listen, let me share this and then we're going to go on with the video. I peeped Marceau Black Mamba Fork Tongue Ho day one. Day one. Jezebel Martell, same thing. I'm like, oh, I do not like them. Ooh. And the polar opposite end of that, when I saw Melody step out there, that garage there, I was like, okay, here we go. Here's the star now. The star has arisen. Okay. Listen, I already knew who was who. Okay. You can't tell me that these people have not seen that video. And for Destiny to sit on that reunion stage with her crooked knockoff Beyonce gown on, I know where the bones are buried or whatever she said, the secrets, whatever she said. She shouldn't have said none of that. She should have kept her obnoxious mouth shut. She was waiting with bated breath to listen. I'm not even going. We'll be here all night. Let's go.
And you get found out at some point. Dina Da Vinci says, is it normal for siblings who are jealous to tell the family that you are the one jealous of them? Absolutely. absolutely, it's called projection. You know, it's like I'm housing these jealous and these envious energies on the inside of me, but I'm going to shift it and say you're the one who's jealous of me.
Tisha, Tinkerbell Tisha. Mel's always talking about me. And why she trying to ruin my marriage with her malignant, passive aggressive, evil self. She's another saboteur. Remember when Melody stated that she did not receive, no, her invitation to Kimmy's bridal shower was rescinded. Remember that? Tisha did that. Just like her husband, who never lies. Those are air quotes. Okay, let's peep this now.
Because deep down inside, I want that to be a reality. And I don't want to be the one who's jealous. I want you to be jealous of me. Or I rather say that you house these ugly emotions.
Child, these people have me chain smoking over here. Like when I get ready to listen, that's why I be loading up the peace pipe so I can calm down. I be chain smoking, sifting through content and things of that nature and clearing, my energetic field, my auric field. So when I ingest said content and I want to say do like a reaction right now, I don't want to be up in my feelings. I want it to be straight from the spirit channeled. I don't want no nothing up in there that's gonna skew it one way or another. If it come through, I'm gonna come through with it the way that it come through. Period. Let's go.
And not me. So, yes, absolutely. Megan Watson, you're welcome and welcome to the live chat tonight. Glad to have you. Glad to see you. Kat, hello. Welcome to the live chat. I'm so glad you see this channel is helpful. You've made some awesome comments in the past. So glad to have you back. Okay, so that we don't lose any more time, guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump back into the content and I acknowledge the rest of you as we go along. So, let me give you some more terminology, okay, and what the research says. So, we left off at interpersonal jealousy system, that jealous, beloved, and rival triangle, right? So, now we have what's called the affective state.
It's gonna get real good here now. Okay, we're gonna let this commercial burn on through here. The people of no color. Let's peep this out just a little bit more, just a little bit more.
The parent. Now, research suggests that, if you have a jealous parent, or if you have a jealous sibling, you really want to look at the emotional state of the parent. If the parent has what's called an affective state or an emotional state of jealousy or high temperament, where they are highly offended, they are angry.
Okay, wasteland wander and messy petty Betty. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. So, what is the emotional affliction of these older women who are supposed to be embracing, encouraging, and pouring life into all younger women? It doesn't matter if it's your daughter or not. As elder women, once we reach 40-ish and beyond, that is the time where you encourage and edify younger women. When you see them broken, you don't heap more weight on their shoulders, judging, slut shaming, rumor mill, assumption, jumping to conclusions like a wasteland wander, you know, pretty shaming, sex shaming, okay, is what these some of these elder women are doing, especially messy Betty, okay? Just sight unseen went for male. Still doing it. Okay? Let's Let's go.
They are explosive, they are aggressive. If you have a parent that's like this, sometimes that parent can send energy into their children that then causes the children to act out in ways that's not very healthy. And so research suggests that you really want to look at the affective state of the parent, the cognitive state of the parent, and also the personality of the parent. Those three things are very important: the affective or emotional state of the parent, the cognition, the thoughts of the parent. How do they engage in their thoughts, and are they sharing these thoughts or somehow in some way sharing negative language with the children, the siblings, right? And then the
Listen, none of these women, Marble Mark Marlene, she's has a very thin, fake veil of niceness. She's very passive aggressive, especially with male. And now, you know, that's a wrap too. What little bridge they did build, Mel and Marlene, that's a wrap. Torched. Okay. So let's go, y'all, just a little bit more. Think about it now. Think about it.
personality of the parent is also important. So those three things are really important in determining how the dynamic of the family works. A parent is kind of like the king and the queen of the household, right? If you think of a hierarchy, the parent sits at the top. And if they have the wrong emotional state, the wrong cognitive state, and a very tricky personality, like a narcissistic personality, or they have some antisocial personality traits, that's going to influence the siblings, right? And so if you have a child who tends to be, for example, the beloved child, which pushes you out of the equation, if you have a beloved sibling and the parent is a narcissist, what do you think is going to happen? The psychology of that dynamic is that that beloved child who's probably jealous of you in some capacity is going to team up with that narcissistic parent. And there you have a very toxic dynamic of two. And we call that an alliance. It's an alliance. It's a child and a parent that is teamed up against another family member. And sometimes
Same way that they all teamed up together on Mel, trying to force her back into the comeback group, which was a flop, fell on his face because everybody fronting and ain't nobody have any funds. Okay. Mel said, hell no, we won't go. I'm about to leave this zero and become my own hero. Okay, let's go.
that alliance is really what drives the jealousy sometimes.
Yeah, commercial, y'all. We're gonna let this go. She's worth it though. She's worth every click, yo.
Alone. The other thing that research really highlights, and this is a very interesting concept. You know, I looked at some of the research last night and I'm like, whoa, there's tons of research on this. And the term is known as, and the dynamic is called episodic sibling jealousy. Episodic sibling jealousy episodes. And the definition of this is the jealousy only comes up when there's a comparison. So I'll give you an example of this. Let's say, for example, you tend to be the beloved grandchild. Your grandparents love you. Why? Because you were the firstborn. You were struggling with depression. You tended to be the socially anxious child, and your mom and your dad needed a lot of childcare, and so therefore that put you closer to your grandparents because your grandparents watched you all the time. They loved you. They saw your depression. They saw your anxiety. They just kind of love you, right? They shower you with their love and affection. Your sibling may get upset with that because they're not the beloved. They're not getting that same attention. Maybe they, have their own special talents and wonderful pieces of who they are, but you get more attention in that dynamic because you're the depressed one, you're the anxious one, you're the
Who's the one that's always big and dry, big and male? Mm. Oh, I have to balance all this, and I was a stay-at-home mom. Now I'm juggling all this stuff. Cry me a river, give me the tiniest violin. Like, what mother isn't juggling 50 or 60 things every hour with young children? I mean, and a whole family. Okay, but we come on now. We work smarter nowadays than harder. We do big things to get a big check, so we ain't got to keep redoing it. You know what I'm saying? So let's go.
shy one, and you needed a little bit more attention. So there's the dynamic in and of itself. Let's say somehow there's a comparison made between you and your sibling. Your sibling may start to feel that episodic sibling jealousy because there's a comparison being made. You're the beloved, they are not. You're the one who's been depressed and anxious and need the most affection. Maybe that other sibling did not.
See, my sister, very needy, always whining, worried about what somebody thinks about her, other outside useless opinions of others. You know, sneaky. My sister's really sneaky, like Kiki, snooping around in places that she should not be, wasn't invited. My sister was a diary reader. She would go through, your personal things, read your journal, and you're just evil. Yeah, check it out now.
Not. And so there's the comparison between the two of you, and then your sibling experiences that episodic sibling jealousy. There's another concept known as dispositional sibling jealousy, where there's kind of like this stable chronic internal sense of inferiority, and they don't like you because you tend to be more social. Maybe you're more intelligent. Maybe you're more loved in the family. Maybe you can see things in more of an intuitive and spiritual sense than they can. Maybe you're just a little bit sharper, more sharper, I should say, than your sibling. And so they may experience for the rest of their life dispositional sibling jealousy.
Who was it that said that she thought, I mean, just how obnoxious. She said in response to Stormy show, silly, sloppy Stormy told Kiki she is smart, might be one of the smartest women on the show. And Miss Obnoxious over here, what does she say? Oh, if not the most, and yes, I'm very intelligent, if not the most intelligent. And she had to repeat it, if not the. Y'all see where I'm going with this, right? Let's go a little bit more.
Policy, that stable, chronic, enduring pattern of inferiority. It's on the inside, they feel inferior, and it's never going to change. This is how they're going to be for the rest of your life. Now, you may be wondering, will my sibling always be jealous of me? Can my parent actually shift and become a different kind of a parent? Well, that really depends on those three things. Remember, guys, the affective state of the parent, the emotional state of the parent. Is the parent emotionally capable of growing past their envy of you? I don't know. right? The other thing was cognition. Are they able to get outside of their thought system? Maybe their own negative self talk about you. Are they able to escape that and become a better parent? Who knows? And that last thing is the personality of the parent. Are they narcissistic? And if so, you're going to have a lot more of a difficult time trying to get them to change than you imagine because
Boy, listen to me. Black women make everything better when we are in our highest, best version of ourselves. This queen here, she is on fire. Okay? On fire. Look at this. Look at there. Look at this. Tisha. Tisha. This is degrees. Okay? Tamara Hill, comma, MS, comma, NCC, comma, CCTP, comma, LPC, child. Okay? These are degrees. All right? I told you I was on my bag. Let's go.
they are narcissistic. The personality is what it is. And maybe they're always going to be jealous of you for some purpose. Who knows, right? So those three things are very, very important in determining if your parent, if your sibling can change. Can they change their emotional state? Can they change how they think about themselves and me? And can their personality shift? Or is this a very chronic, enduring pattern of jealousy? I don't know. It's hard to tell. Now, what does parental jealousy look like? Before I go to the chat box and look for some comments and questions, let me go through what a jealous parent looks like. And before I get into this, let me just say a parent can be jealous of you for many reasons. It doesn't have to be because you're more successful. It doesn't have to be because, maybe you're more attractive. It doesn't have to be, maybe it's because you get more attention. And it certainly doesn't have to be because you make a little bit more money or you have a better house or whatever. It could simply be the parent is jealous because you get more attention from their own parents than they do. That dynamic in and of itself, that grandparent generation and you connecting and getting along more so than your parent gets along with maybe their own parents can cause the jealousy. Or
That
maybe you have
that is how, oh my goodness. That's a lot of people's mama, you know. My mother could not stand how much my grandmother loved me. And that's why I try never to pick favorites of anything when it comes to people I love, you know. We always throw that term around so loosely, but it is a curse to be labeled the favorite. It causes a lot of problems, and some of them are subconscious and they manifest clean out of thin air. That's a demon. You should never pick favorites among your children if you have multiples. Friends, all that. Well, that's my favorite friend, my favorite. That word really bothers me when it comes to, people, friendships, relationship dynamics of the sort. So let's go. I'm gonna be quiet.
just a different way that you look at life and you've shared it.
We're gonna get back to it. There we go.
And your parent sees that you have more of a deep thought pattern than they do. I'll put it that way. I was trying to find other words, but that'll do. Maybe you think about life in a much deeper way than the parent, and that can trigger their jealousy. whatever. We don't know what actually could trigger parent jealousy, but we do know that once it's triggered, it's very ugly. So here's what happens. Research suggests that parental jealousy can be observed when you share something and there's an instant, immediate, and sometimes very subtle shift in behavior and in attitude. There's a
You notice how Wanda always is fidgeting and doing all kind of, whenever Tisha's in the spotlight, Wanda can't be nowhere around because she's gonna take over. She's gonna take over the entire room. She's gonna suck the air right out of it, and she's gonna drive the conversation off into a ditch. She's gonna either make threats of violence or try to execute said violence. And then mix it all around with a plethora of verbal insults, verbal abuse. Y'all, listen. The spirit propelled me into this queen's path. Okay. I didn't go looking. I just was watching content, just kind of randomly sifting through YouTube, and I bumped into Dr. Tamara Hill, child. Let's go.
subtle shift in behavior and attitude. You feel that, right? You could be having a conversation with your parent, trying to share something, and maybe you can sense there's an attitude shift. There's an emotional shift in the room. There's a shift in body language. And now you're starting to feel a little uncomfortable and you don't know why. You just know you're getting bad vibes from that parent. Research also suggests that success can also cause the parent to feel discomfort, and it can come through in their affect, in their face. They may not smile with you. They may not give you eye contact. They may look down and away. They may do this or sit this way, with their hand over their face while you're talking. Or they can sometimes just snap and say, you know what? I don't want to hear anymore. I'm done with this conversation. You've said enough. That is
Who's that? Petty, messy Betty. I'm done. I don't want to. And then she's the victim after that when she can't get her way. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Hmm? I'm telling you, we got a doozy over here with this here doctor. Okay? She gon' peel all the layers of the onion back all the way down to the core of the onion, honey, doing surgery. Come on.
happened to me in sessions where I've had a parent and a child, an adult parent, I'm sorry, adult child and a parent in a therapy session, and the adult child is sharing something. And I've been in the therapist seat and I've observed the parent just snap and say, you know what? I'm done with this conversation. We're not going to talk about this anymore. You're not moving to Washington, D.C. It's not going to happen. And that's end of story. You know, and in that instant moment of rage and anger and intense emotion, you can tell something's shifting inside the parent. And it's not just because the parent's concerned, it's not because the parent loves the child, it's because the parent can't deal with their own internalized discomfort. And so sometimes you can see parental jealousy.
You see the internalized discomfort. All of these shabby, tacky mothers have an issue with controlling that internalized discomfort. You signed up to be a mother, so you knew this young little girl was going to grow up to be a woman and have her own her autonomy, and want to do things that are a whole lot different in style, attitude, mindset than it was back when our mothers were younger, our age and younger. A lot of these type of malignant people, they stay stuck like this, because they don't want to accept and acknowledge that they have suffered post traumatic slave syndrome. The hand me downs of our ancestors, whether we had slave owners or not, we are still indigenous to the Americas. The copper and brown people was here first before that boat came across the water. Okay. So those of us who understand the understanding and it's understood, we have an agenda that we need to live up to, and it's got to be more than just this vicious cycle of jealousy, envy, spite, and passive aggressiveness and facetiousness. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me go. Let's go.
Jealousy in the parental discomfort and how they react, how they respond. You may also see a decrease in your own motivation to do something. That parent can cause you to feel like maybe you shouldn't be as passionate about something, or maybe you shouldn't share a certain mindset, or
That's a lot of these. That's my mama right there. Listen, let me start getting excited about something I've been looking forward to for a very long time. Had to truly just work hard to try to convince my mother to allow me to participate in whatever it was, prom, regular little school function dances, because back then we used to party in the gym. Okay, at my high school, they used to cut the little divider walls. We had that, and they would section off the main gym into four sections. One section was music, dance floor vibes, party vibes. One section was for volleyball. Sometimes they would switch it up and we would play, one hoop, half court, b-ball. Then the another section was for refreshments and another section was for just sitting cooling it. And we had the time of our freaking life in high school with them gym jams. That's what they was called, gym jams, a gymnasium party in the gym, damn it. And that was a way to keep a lot of teenagers up out of trouble because the teachers and the sports coaches and parents alike volunteered to operate those gym jams. Okay, we did our little fundraising to pay the DJ or what have you, but selling refreshments at the gym jam, child, and what and so forth. Okay, that was our moms doing that. What they call inside the canteen, selling chips and pickles and wham whams and zuzus and stuff like that. Yeah, that was our mamas running the concession stand at them damn gym jams and basketball games. Okay? Popcorn at the game with a hot dog, child. Bye. I'm telling my age now, but let's go. Let's go. I could be quiet.
maybe you shouldn't have a certain energy about something. You may also notice within yourself a decrease in what's known as personal agency. Personal agency, meaning that you may start to second guess if you're able to do something independently. You also may second guess.
Uh, Tisha always second guessing herself. Well, I need you there, Mel, to go look at the venue with me. So then you could tell everybody why you're not ready to make a decision to pull the trigger on if you want to participate in the expo. Come on, y'all. This is why I said, I gotta say it again. Obnoxious for them to sit at that table with Melody and talk about. We're gonna get to that later. We're gonna get to that later. We're gonna get to the Ponderosa later. We let's go.
Guess your own intuition, how you see things, how you're perceiving life, how you're perceiving your role in life or in the family system. You may start to second guess yourself. And that's not because you have low self-esteem, and that may not be because you don't have confidence. It could simply be because the parent's energy and attitude and behavior has shifted. And so too has your view of yourself, right?
Oops.
You may also see these kind of parents actively self sabotaging, not self sabotaging, excuse me, sabotaging the situation, right? And we call that active sabotaging. You may have the parent just kind of making moves for you, or saying things that makes you look bad, or saying things that can shift how other people see you, right? So they may engage in what's known as active sabotaging. You may also notice competition.
We got a couple of more, little bit more to go. I am so grateful you're here. And while we're waiting for this commercial, please hit the like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Share the video. If you get anything out of it, drop them eagle feathers down below for me and tell me what you think. Okay, let's go.
Maybe they're competing for dad's affection with you. Maybe they're competing for your siblings' affection with you, right? Sometimes parents and children work in the same environment. Maybe they are competing with you for a raise, or they're competing with your talent or the way you see the job or whatever. So sometimes there's outright competition. Psychology also says that there may be direct or passive comments that can also show you that they are jealous of you. This is the parent, okay? We're going to get into the sibling here in just.
I don't even have to say it, do I? All of the mothers are in some way, shape, or form jealous of their daughters. Okay? Because just like with racists, just because you can stand in line next to me now, or just because we could sit down at a dinner table and share a meal, or just because we might be able to do some functions together, that does not mean you are not racist, hunty. Okay? Since I've been living in the South, like living in the South, it's a whole lot of people of no color that do not even know they are racist. So, what do you think? A delusional narcissist, which is malignant, possessed with legion. What do you think the comparison is with that? What you think that on? What type of time? Hmm?
Just a little bit. But the parents' jealousy could be direct or indirect in what they say to you and how they say what they say to you, you know? You may also notice that there is a full a full engagement in the toxic dynamic of the family. In other words, the parent may take a very active role in making sure that the toxicity within your family continues and continues and continues, because in a sense they want it to happen. Now, here's the definition of jealousy, and I wrote it down because this is way too long for me to remember. Before I go to the chat box, see what you guys are saying. This definition of jealousy is pretty interesting, and I think it's really great. And I'm going to post in the description box below where this definition of jealousy came from. But here's the definition. Okay. The definition of sibling and parental jealousy is an
Shout out to Tamara Hill again. Y'all, she get ready to drop the bomb. She get ready to drop the big one. And then we gonna be out.
organized complexity of emotions, thoughts, or cognitions and behaviors that results from a threat, right? Maybe you're a threat to them, or a loss of a beloved relationship to a rival. Let me go back over that. Let me break that down. Parental jealousy and sibling jealousy affects how the person thinks, behaves, and feels. And they may feel this jealousy because you are the beloved or you have something that is a threat to them, whether you see it or not. Parental and sibling jealousy.
Now, even though Mel and Marcus are considered, quote, half siblings, right? They have the same father. Uh, do you see them going at each other like Tisha, Tinkerbell, and Jesus, and Basket Case Kiki? Look at how these folk go back and forth. And they're relatives. They grew up like sisters. They both said so. Do you see Melody's other sibling, female woman sibling sisters coming for her, always in the mix, trying to just stir the pot and put all kind of disgusting, obnoxious ingredients in it? No, we don't. Okay, we gonna go and push through this last little stretch right here, and we're gonna call it, put a period on it.
Jealousy. That's the definition that I like. I like that definition of jealousy. Okay, let me go to the chat box and see what you guys are saying.
Let's do that one more time. I'm not sure what's going on with Spectrum, but not happy with it.
It says my sister took my
Let's
wedding venue.
rewind that back. Wind it back. We're gonna do that
Where
one
this
more.
definition of jealousy came from, but here's the definition. Okay, the definition of sibling and parental jealousy is an organized complexity of emotions, thoughts, or cognitions and behaviors that results from a threat, right? Maybe you're a threat to them, or a loss of a beloved relationship to a rival. Let me go back over that. Let me break that down. Parental jealousy and sibling jealousy affects how the person thinks, behaves, and feels. And they may feel this jealousy because you are the beloved or you have something that is a threat to them, whether you see it or not. Parental and sibling jealousy. That's the definition that I like. I like that.
Okay. So there you go, fam. There you go. That triangulation dynamic is a beast, isn't it? Isn't it a beast? So I really enjoyed that. And it rung a bell for me. This is about the fourth or fifth time I've listened to this particular piece. But tell me what you think about this description by our queen, Dr. Psychotherapist Tamara Hill. Okay, I could not say it any better, more eloquent and intelligent and precisely than she. This is something else now to behold. Obnoxious, disgusting, tack-headed jealousy. And these women are the mothers of some of these women on the cast. The one I named earlier, Kimmy, Stormy, Tisha, Jezebel Martell. He's not a woman, but he acts like a toxic woman. Okay. All have jealous mothers. You heard it. You heard the doctor said it. So we're gonna be out. I love you. Thanks for rocking with your sister, Queen Common Sense, from the Chi Town Hold It Down remix to the Cack-a-Lack-a Sticks. We're going to be out. Y'all keep it easy, keep it light, guard your peace at all cost. One love.